Hey folks, Jamie from jrr.yoga here for your Wellness Wednesday practice. Start out lying on your back. Knees are bent and feet are flat on the floor in an active rest pose where you walk your feet wide and let your knees fall together so your legs kind of support themselves. Allow your eyes to come closed here. And bring your awareness to your breath. Observe your breath as it is right here and now. Noticing anything that might feel out of the ordinary. Noticing any rough spots, anywhere the breath feels especially short, whether it's the inhale or the exhale. Notice if you're naturally pausing in between inhale and exhale, or exhale and inhale. Now start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Find your way toward a deeper and more full breath. Big inhales and full exhales. Bring your palms together at your center. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms up toward the ceiling. And bring the arms overhead, choosing to stop at any point that feels like your end point for that movement. And take the palms back toward the ceiling. Bring palms together and hands back down to your heart. Draw the knees into the chest. Give them a little bit of a squeeze here with your arms. Or taking something like a sweatshirt, or if you have a yoga strap around the shins, that's another great way to hold on to the legs. We'll start to just rock a little bit from side to side. A fairly small movement, just kind of massaging your low back and your hips into the mat. You could even make some circles here with the knees. If you do make circles, make sure you do a few in each direction. Take the feet back down to the floor. We'll come into a twist. Take the arms out into a T shape or into cactus arms, maybe even supporting with blankets. Knees are both dropping to the left side, so kind of pick up and shift the hips so they comfortably line up with the spine as you come into your twist. Inhale, bring the knees back toward the ceiling. Take a breath here. And as you're ready, both knees will fall to the right, shifting those hips to stay comfortable. And inhale, bring those knees back toward the ceiling. Feet can stay on the floor or draw those knees back in towards your chest. Making any movements that feel nice here. Work up to seated. Sit with legs either straight or crossed, whatever is comfortable for you. We'll be moving into a seated cat and cow. Hands rest on the knees or on your thighs. Find length in your spine. And inhale into cow pose. So we're lifting the chin slightly, pressing the chest forward, pressing those ribs forward. Exhale, rounding into cat, so tucking the chin as we kind of hollow out that front part of the body. Inhale, back to your seated cow. Exhale into seated cat. Flow between these two poses at your own pace. Follow your own breath. And we'll do that 5 more times. Just finding a neutral spine once you're finished. Now from your seat, move up to a tabletop position. On hands and knees here. We'll start out moving into a puppy pose. So keeping your hip stacked above the knee, walk both hands forward. Let your head and your chest sink down toward the floor. Generally keeping those elbows off the ground if you can. Getting some lengthening through the spine, some opening in the shoulders and the arms. And inhale, lift the torso and walk the hands back to tabletop. You can give yourself a quick cat pose here, so tucking the chin, tucking the pelvis, and arching the spine. And then move back into child's pose. From your child's pose, we're coming into a side opener here. Walk your right hand over toward the right edge of the mat. Left hand and torso kind of follow, so left hand rests on top of the right. Find deep breaths here. Notice where in your rib cage or abdomen that you're feeling that breath. And walk the hands back to the center. When you are ready, left hand moves off to the left edge and right hand rests on top. Still working with deep, full breath here. And inhale, walk those hands back toward the center line of the mat. Inhale back up into tabletop. From tabletop, move onto your stomach. Lowering yourself down to the ground, chest and forehead resting on the mat. Step the hands back a little closer to your low ribs. Tuck those elbows in towards your sides. Inhale into a low cobra pose, lifting head, lifting chest. And exhale, lower. Bring head back to the ground. Re-engage, lift head, lift chest. And exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift your head and chest, slide your hands forward and bring your elbows to the ground into Sphinx pose. Elbows here are kind of stacked right below the shoulders, pressing those arms into the ground to help find length in your spine. We're not slouching into this pose at all. A supported back bend here. And as it's time to come out, we'll bring your chest back down to the ground. Stack your hands one on top of the other for your forehead to rest on here. Turn the knees and toes to point toward the outside edges of your mat into a version of alligator pose here. Take those legs back in, knees and toes, point back down to the ground. Bring your palms down and press your way back up to tabletop. From your tabletop position here, Step your right hand a little closer to the right edge of the mat. We'll inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling. And exhale, thread the left arm under the right into thread the needle pose. Inhale, press your way back up. Take the left hand briefly back toward the ceiling. And exhale, take that hand back to the floor. Step your left hand a little closer to the left edge of the mat. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread right arm under the left. Head and shoulder down toward the floor. Thread the needle. Inhale, press your way back up. Right hand back toward the ceiling. And exhale, take the right hand back down to the floor. We'll lift the left knee off the ground, keeping that knee bent at a 90-degree angle so it looks like you're trying to step on the ceiling above you. This requires a little balance here, and we can change things up as you like by stepping your right hand forward, fingers tented and gently resting on the ground, challenging your balance more. You could lift the hand off the ground, fingertips forward, thumb toward the ceiling. You can find your way into kind of a bigger back bend here. We're dropping the belly, lifting your chest and your gaze, and reaching your right hand back for that left foot or ankle. Finding your version of this balance. And with an exhale, hand and knee come back to the ground. Switching sides. Right knee moves off the ground. Knee is bent, foot reaching toward the ceiling. You can choose to step the left hand forward, lift it, or reach to find the back bend. And with an exhale, take everything back to the floor. Stay in either a neutral tabletop position or find your way back to child's pose. From your child's pose, come back to tabletop and find your way to seated. Sitting on a blanket if that helps you to sit upright a little more comfortably. Take your right leg out, left leg, foot comes to the inside of that right. Flex the ankle here. Sit tall. Turn your torso to face your right foot. Take an inhale. With your exhale, folding forward over the right leg. Hands can rest wherever they comfortably reach. Inhale, work your way back upright. We're switching sides, left leg out, right leg in. Flex that left ankle, sit tall and turn to face the left foot. Inhale, and with your exhale, fold forward over the left leg. Inhale, come back up to seated. We'll bring both feet together, knees out wide, making a diamond shape here with your legs. Your feet can be as close to your pelvis or as far away from your pelvis as you like, keeping in mind the comfort of your knees here. Sit with length in your spine, take an inhale. With your exhale, belly button kind of leading the way here into a forward fold. Inhale, sitting back upright. Move onto your back into Shavasana. As you settle in, allow your eyes to come closed and take 3 full, deep breaths. After your third breath, find a full body stretch, tips of the fingers to tips of the toes. Find your way back upright to seated. Let the eyes come closed here, sitting tall. If you'd like, you can take your hands together at your heart and bow forward to finish off your practice. Thank you for joining me for Wellness Wednesday. It was great to have you.